Okie dokie, gentlemen, are we all here ready to fucking go? I asked you all a question! As I reveal my giant monkey! That's not as funny as you thought it was, boy!
God, I thought he meant penis!
I swear, the only thing I hate more than weaklings... Hey! I'm speaking, soldier! Don't fucking speak unless you're smoking fucking dirt! What we're gonna do is we're gonna flare with
The talk show at the end of the week.
Space is big.
Star Citizen Base.
It's really big.
Round Table.
Hello, and welcome to another Star Citizen Base Round Table here on the base. What are you looking at?
Are we live?
We are live right here on the base.
What?
It's working, and...
With censorship.
What do you mean, censorship? Oh!
What?
Asian yellow fever has been censored.
Well, she wanted to post it, so I'm like, okay, you're gonna get a post-it then. There! Hello!
What the hell?
I don't even know what the hell.
I don't know either.
So, you're here on the base radio, where on every Sunday we do this little funny show, a little fun, but interesting and very, very informational. You can learn so much here. It's crazy.
You can learn how to melt. If you're a snowflake, we can teach you how to melt.
You can melt.
We can do that. Yep.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So what we do is we talk Star Citizen, salts, sweet, anything really. The news and what sort of stuff has been going on in the community, whatever, you know. I do that with all these people here, like usual. I am Relem. I'm here, right here, and next to me you can see Gentile, in the other corner there, far off, is the only. And below me is revealed by a yellow post-it Eden Star, looking kind of pale, but that's probably just a camera.
By the camera.
I think it's that monstrous monitor that you have in front of you.
It's like super white.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It's just
when you
just
back
like
up, it changes
floodlight.
color.
It's a floodlight.
Yep,
Yeah.
see.
And in the other corner there, Moggimus.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing? These are not the droids you're looking for. This is not the podcast you're looking for.
And these are not the spaceships you're looking for.
No.
Especially if you
no
bought a
LTI
600i. Hi,
Where's the
Miami
popsicle
Bat.
from?
Oh, it's Trade Mogul. He wants to talk about Reddit Flare.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Aren't we saving that? It's not.
Mhm.
It's not
Yep,
the
yep.
salt block yet.
The whole show. What is there to talk about? What happened in
Nothing.
Star City?
Nothing. Did you watch ATV?
There was an
They
ATV.
did the Gamescom recap. Yeah, they did a Gamescom recap.
Oh yeah,
right?
that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
of
there
course, yeah.
There was nothing in ATV. It wasn't even.
No, there's a burn
You got
down.
notes?
A burn
No,
up.
I want to see if I
No,
was
she's
gonna
trying
like.
to read.
There was the Q&A about 600i.
That's Salt Block.
I did. Oh, okay. We're saving because
It
I didn't
is.
even read it because I just listened. To
Me and
This guy
Genta
up
have two
here.
very different opinions about it.
just going
I
off
actually,
about it. So I'm like, all right.
liked the Q&A. It was informative, and the first thing I heard when I come back is it's not informative by Mr. Genta himself.
I thought the answers were completely generic, honestly, but whatever.
No, there was one nice thing.
They are.
Wait, oh, fuck.
He said it first. Ha 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 ha. He said it first.
Doing that now?
No,
Oh, we're-
whatever.
Are we doing the good boy challenge? You were a good boy until the end there, and then someone ruined it first, I think.
I don't think this show is suitable for children.
I did that.
It never will be.
Who the?
Oh, there goes Gentile.
Uh-oh. There goes...
Yeah,
Gentile.
internet is censoring Gentile.
Anyway, the one thing that is interesting from that is that they use voice meter in the QA computers. You see that?
I saw that. I did see that. I was like, all right.
Sure. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's so freaking easy. You won't have to bring thousands and thousands of dollars of audio equipment. It's like, oh, just install this on your computer and you're done. What? It's crazy.
And it's free.
Technology. Well, yeah. I mean, they might have thrown in money. I don't know. Kick the kids out?
Because it's not safe.
Why did you ever think it was safe?
You ever heard how kids talk in school today? I don't
How
think
they
we're
talk to
even
their
on the
parents.
I don't think we're on the same level even.
Nope. All these ruthless little gangster wannabes running around.
Rapping.
Living the thug life. Smoking blunts and drinking 40s.
Making pictures.
Yeah, we're on. You want to be on? Come here. Come on. Say hi to Star Citizen community.
We have a box.
Come on.
We have a box. It's left.
On. Oh, there's a hand.
You got a free box.
A free box.
Underneath you, if you want to be on.
Oh, yeah. There's an empty box. We can hook you up. I can give you my phone. No, then. She has absolutely no interest in anything we're going to talk about today. I guarantee that. You do make stupid comments. Yeah.
Was she talking to you and you were quoting her?
She's harassing me right now. She's encroaching on my space. That's why I'm taking the cave back.
Good.
Are you?
Shut the door. Yeah. We moved everything out today. So the next time I will be locked in a room again.
I want
Like
her
old times.
harassing you. It makes me happy.
You want to see her harass me?
Yes.
They want to see you punch me.
Yeah, so we have nothing to talk about because nothing happened. No, what?
Nothing happened.
Well,
actually,
a lot of things happened, but everybody want to keep it for block free.
Right.
No, there's a couple of things that were iterated
we
on.
can just talk about it, then just end the show. 'Cause
For the
there's, like,
600i.
nothing to talk about.
Because the Q&A
Hopefully
was...
she goes away because she's so distracting.
I know.
So how's
Glorious.
single-handedly ruining a show there? Distracting our participants.
She's good at it. Some of it I like. The choking part is okay.
Well, remember when we had Eris on the show and he was being slapped
And
by
where
his
does she
girlfriend?
do that? No, wait a minute. I don't want to know.
So I linked the Q&A. Plus there's a lot of good pictures in there.
For one, there are not 64 size 3 missiles on that thing. There are...
It's
No,
16.
and do we know if it's going to equate to downsizing the missiles to equal 64 missiles? That's some of the...
Well, remember,
Still too
they
big,
haven't
right?
flushed that out, but
Right,
on some of
exactly.
the ships, it's now possible to put on a smaller rack and you have more room for more missiles. But on other ships, it's not possible. But that's possibly due to that's not been through the Item 2.0 process yet. So
Well,
we
this
need
ship
to,
isn't even built, so it will be built around Item 2.0.
we'll have to wait for it, right?
Well, you
And-
know what?
Just chill your bones out.
I'm getting old.
No, you need
fast.
you need warm. You need warmth.
Yes.
Junetao needs answers before he dies, Tio. I mean,
Yes,
he's
that's
got.
I
all
thought he wanted to play the game before he dies.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Are we lowering the bar here? Now you just want
We don't
answers
know
before
if
you die?
that's gonna happen at this point.
But one of the
no.
interesting question that was answered in the Q&A, since we're kind of doing this. Can the 600i be flown effectively solo? That was a pretty good answer there. It's in line with everything they've said, but so they said that fundamentally the 600i is multi-crew ships, but it's probably, for its size, one of the most solo-friendly ships that is in Star Citizen of the multi-crew ships. It has unmanned turrets, and they can be, fitted with AI, capable shields, and then you should have a pilot that is able to effectively pilot the 600i solo in most regards.
Didn't it say in there? Didn't it say in there somewhere that it was like it's not really a ship that you're going to want to engage in, so it's going to have the ability to evade and book. It's going to be quick.
Yes, it's quick, but it's much heavier than Connie because it's much fatter. Same length, but much more girth. So
she likes it that way.
The ship has a lot of mass. So he didn't just smile.
That's the way they like it. Lots of mass.
Some don't.
No, they like the pencil.
Not every, different.
Some people like
different pokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Man. I wasn't gonna say it, but
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
That's a quote.
I know.
What? I don't give a fuck.
No. Different pokes for different folks.
People like a little bit more cushion, but
Yeah, we had that discussion on the Pirate Radio show on Friday about bony
we
girls.
Did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't necessarily dig the bony girls.
No.
Yeah. So,
but anyways, that's not what this show is about. Sorry.
They said that it has more mass, so it will. Although it has very good side thrusters, it will not be able to turn as quick as for instance, an Aquila.
I don't think that they know what it's going to do.
They don't.
Yes, they do. They can say that, and we can say that because they're basing their maneuverability on their pseudophysics in the game, where mass plays a big role. Now, if you laden your Aquila with a lot of heavy cargo, of course that's going to influence the handling of that ship as well. So a full Aquila might be less maneuverable than a relatively empty 600i. So everything is relative. So a lot of people keep thinking that they can full up, for instance, a Constellation full of cargo and expect to have it as nimble when it's empty, and it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be.
No, I hope it's not. I hope it's like when you load a truck or something full of weight and you got to drive it differently. That's the way it should be. They've
stated it so many times. I don't know. They have never stated otherwise. Contrary that they've gone away from it. So they've always stated that cargo will have mass.
Well, sure. We just don't have a working example of that yet. That's the whole thing. It's all okay. He said, she said at this point. So it's
but
not
they
necessarily.
already have the mass in the game, so they
Do
have
they?
the mass function.
Have you seen it?
Ships, mass on the ships is functioning. Have you been flying the Connie?
It's just gravity.
Hell no.
It's a
brick.
It's a
It's
floating
a flying
bathtub.
brick.
It's a flat floating bathtub.
And that's the thing. I want to, because of the shape. I mean, we don't know yet because the 600 is not in game. We don't know where they're gonna put the thruster. What do you mean shape has nothing to do with it?
Not in space.
Shape has
does.
everything to do with
Sure
it
does,
everywhere
because
you go.
especially where the cargo
Centripetal
bay
forces
is going
and
to
that
be.
sort of stuff.
If it's towards the
They've
middle
already
of the
sta-
ship, then
yeah,
and you have
stated that
cargo.
will have no- it
your
will have
center
no
of
effect.
mass is going to be in the middle, so
They
it
want-
should turn. And based on the shape and where the thruster placement
They-
is, because it's wider, it
They're
should
not going
turn.
that. They're
more
not
easily.
going that. They're not going that route. They're going. You're adding cargo. You're adding mass to the center. Basically the center of the ship. That's how they've explained it. They cannot go too much in depth, otherwise, a lot of people will just be spinning
If
around in
all
circles.
your cargo is on the ass of the Starfarer, it's not going to affect the flight in a different way as if it were in the center of the Starfarer? Is that what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Weird.
That doesn't.
It doesn't
make
sound right,
sense.
but I mean, it's
No.
a game. It's got different physics than reality, so we'll see.
You have to remember, they don't add. How far do you want them to take this? How much should they bog down your computer in this?
I don't know. My computer will handle it.
And how much should you be able to encourage let's say there's 6 million players. How many of those percentage would be able to correctly place their cargo in the ship? I mean, how many people can correctly place the cargo in their car or on a trailer? This is you, but no percentage, 0.
They're saying
1,
you're wrong.
2.
Innovis doesn't know what he's talking about, though.
That's a TO.
He makes more shit up than we do. Come on. Sorry, dude. Hold on, I got a surprise for you. Let's see if this works. Don't yell at me for doing this. Hey.
No.
Come on. He's
Oh
there.
boy.
What are you doing?
I'm trolling. Trade, wake up. I see you type it in chat. Whatever, he'll come around.
Come on, Trade.
He actually
You
agrees
got something
with
to
the
say.
other one. Oh, there he is.
Asshole.
Okay,
Say
so you're all over chat today. So what is your point, young man?
Oh, I was agreeing with Theo for once. That they did, for a fact, say that cargo mass isn't going to affect flight because your interactive mode or whatever is going to take control of it and balance you out.
The placement of it.
Yeah.
The IFCS will compensate for it.
Yeah, so
That's what
the
you're saying.
mass will influence how quick you can turn, but where you place it will be balanced out. That's the lore.
Okay, let's get back to the 600i stuff. Pappy said people keep comparing the Carrack and the 600i, which they're not comparable. The closest comparison can be made between the Aquila and the 600i. I get that. They're similar size. In the exploration variant, that's great, right? I don't think that's where the point of contention is with the exploration variant. They're pretty similar. The big bitch that I keep seeing is the luxury version has like 0 fucking cargo space, and something about Nubifier dropped a video today of the 600i Q&A part 2 where he was saying that it's not going to be eligible for like VIP missions. How is that possible? That's what he said.
VIP missions? What?
Yeah, like the 890 jump was touted as you're going to be able to make a lot of money with the 890 jump because you're going to be able to like cart dignitaries around and all this fucking weird mission shit. But the 600i isn't going to be able to do that?
Did he have a reasonable explanation?
Because there's no luxury quarters in the ship. Like for, people to go and pimp their prostitutes and shit, because you know how politicians do it.
You've seen
it ain't going to be different in Star Citizen. The politicians are all going to be sick pigs.
It's in the QA.
So there's different. The 890 jump is a party boat. It's a slow cruise liner. It's not the fast get from A to B. The 600i is the lair jet, while the 890 jump is, Trump's own plane, if you know what I mean.
89 is a cruise boat. And 600 is a personal yacht.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. It's like a private jet for a CEO of a company or something like that. The 600
Small crew,
fast transport. The pilots, and usually they don't own the plane. They rent the plane, the pilot. All that's from a travel company or from any service that provide this, and they get on, they get off. That's it, and it's really a quick journey. For them, it's time is money. So how fast can I get from A to B? But they want to travel in style.
I just want to hit on Miami Bat's point there where he says nothing can be compared just yet since nobody has actually tried anything in game, so it's all just speculation. And that's absolutely correct. That's how I make my way through this universe right now, is speculation and theorycraft.
But we do nothing but theorycraft. But you are allowed to use basic reasoning based on what they've said and real life, right? And basic reasoning says that this is a Learjet.
Yeah, it's like having a small boat compared to like a 300-foot mega yacht. No, the president's not going to get on your 50-foot sailboat.
He's not going to get on a Learjet either unless it's an emergency and there's nothing else available.
Yeah, but I think that was the point, was it won't be a money maker. And I don't know how we can determine that.
That's even, fewer customers but higher paying customers. Faster round trips because you're in the faster ships. You get faster out of dock basically because it's a smaller ship. You can land more places. You can dock more places. It's more accessible. In some cases, you might have to have a ship bring your customers to your 890 jump because you can't dock. Well,
that's what the 85X was supposed to be for, right?
Yeah. So the 300i can go in, 600i can come in, land, pick up, go away really fast, and do all the stuff it can. And it probably will do it faster than the 890 Jumbo. Although there's something to be said about what they said about larger ship and its quantum speed.
And that's true. Pappy said jump gates right there. So this is a medium ship, so it'll be able to go to different jumps than the 890 jump instead of, I would assume the 890 jump is going to be limited to large jump points. I would assume.
That might be true.
How big is it?
80? 61, right? 61 meters, I think.
I thought that was the Connie is 60 meters.
Well, because the
600
is... it's about the same?
90 meters.
It just has more girth. It has more, basically, center mass.
Yeah, 61 meters, I thought. And the 890 is like 100 and
20?
something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But we don't know how jump points are going to work either. And I'm sure CIG has a good design document in place, but I don't think they know how the jump points are going to work either. They might have to rethink this whole thing. Because then what do you need? If you're talking about putting an Idris, an 890 jump to a jump point, how much bigger is the freaking Bengal? Are they going to have super jump points?
It's going to be. So far they've said 3 different sizes, right? And it's not jump points per se; it's wormholes, right? And they need to have a certain size and be mapped out correctly. The bigger the ship are, the more precise it has to be to get out, safely through because of.
Well, they're only doing that for gameplay aspects to say, okay, if you're flying in Aurora, you're going to have a faster path everywhere because you can go through every jump point. You can go through the smallest, the mediums, and the largest, but if you're in a medium ship, you're going to have to take a little longer way. If you're in a large ship, you're going to even have to take a longer way, and that's what I'm saying.
Look at it this way. So I'm not saying CID is going to do this, but you can look at it 2 ways. They will restrict it to either it's mapped and it's open, or it's not mapped recently and it's closed and it's dangerous. You will crash and you will burn and you will die. But you can also look at it from 0 to 100%, where the second it's mapped, it's 100, but then it degrades, and at some point it degrades to a point where it's dangerous but still passable. And the smaller ship you have, the more safely you can get through. So there's many ways they can make this gameplay work.
What is this cat talking about? 3 jump gate sizes, yes, okay. And the Bengal grew because the Starfarer had to land in it to refuel? Really? That's the first I'm hearing of that.
I've never
that
heard
I remember
before.
anyway. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Sometimes I hear people say like, "Oh, I'm not getting the ship because we don't know." Well, they assume that because they haven't said or shown us anything about the luxury transport aspect of doing jobs and stuff like that. They don't want to buy it because they fear that they might just have nothing to do with those ships. But I mean, they say it's never been confirmed that they were going to put those jobs in the game. But I think like showing these ships from the first time they mentioned luxury touring or luxury transport with this 890 jump, and probably even before that, it's pretty much already confirmed that they are going to have jobs for this thing.
They have an airliner. What's it called again? The big thing?
Starliner.
The Starliner.
The Starliner.
It's just
And
like
they also talked about mechanics in there for that can have to function and can not function, etc. You need AI on board to serve the passengers and all that stuff. Of course, you're going to have the same thing. And if they already talked about ship, things need to be maintained. They will break down. You know, you're probably not going to be traveling very far, you know, extreme distances without getting attacked at some point. So you will have plenty to do. It doesn't matter if you transport humans or cargo. I mean, you might have more to do with people because they might complain or start fights.
NPCs,
so NPCs you can have an eventful NPC or group of NPCs, and you can have a group of NPCs that are set to be like Junto and bitch about everything.
Not enough ice. Not enough ice. But Trip, I remember the Genesis Starliner came out with the design dock for passenger transport, and you were going to have all these little mini games like the mini bar and all that shit that you were going to have to keep your shit stocked so that your passengers were happy, and if your passengers gave you a good review, then you were more likely to get better jobs in the future that would pay more, and blah, 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 blah. But the point right now is I'm hearing the buzz across the thing is people are saying that the 600i Luxury Edition isn't suited to do the VIP transport missions. And I don't know where I stand on that. I agree with T.O., you know. Certain VIPs are going to want to get there faster, but they're going to want to do it in luxury, so they're not going to use the 890 jump. So maybe this does fill the role, and we just don't know what the fuck it is because everything is theorycraft, so people are just falling off the deep end. One point would be, why are they charging so much for this fucking ship? I mean, it's expensive, dude.
Right, but they say it in there that they're building the universe, and it's just the luxury of it.
Yeah, but you know, right. I understand the point that Noobifier made in his video that if you are fronting real life cash for the ship, and the whole comparison of the Ferrari versus blah, 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 the Ford Taurus or whatever is bullshit. Because if you're front real cash, you want an in-game payout for that real cash eventually. I get it. We've talked about it a million times. You're funding the game. All that stuff is great, right? But you expect to be able to utilize it in a way that's going to benefit you in the game at least a little bit. And if you can't make money on it and it's just going to sit there and be the Maserati in your garage, you know, then...
Well, they will. So this is where faith come in. Faith in the company. Yeah, shut up, old man. You place so much money in this that you're worshiping it. You're the head of the church, basically.
I have faith, but I'm not talking about... we're not talking about me. We're talking about your average player.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about them. They're just plebs.
Fuck those guys, yeah. You fucking plebs.
And Ian just, whoa.
As we watch our viewer count tick down.
So it's about faith in the company, and if they give a role out, a ship that has a specific role, they will make it work in the worst. It's not like it's impossible for them to make it work in the game. It's just they haven't come to that stage of the game yet. They are still in development, so give it time. There will eventually be roles, and then when they see that, okay, we haven't made this clear enough in the game, it's not like we have to redo the engine. They just have to change a few parameters, and the AI will prefer the 600i over an 890 jump. They will prefer the Phoenix over an Aquila. Do you want to be transported in or the Taurus, for instance? Do you want to be
the Constellation Phoenix with the hot tub is designed to transport drug dealers. And they're going to have, you see in that table that's out there, they're going to have space cocaine all over the place with strippers in the hot tub.
They don't have to be drug dealers for that. Everyone's going to do that.
So they said something also about, remember the automated, why doesn't it have automated turrets in the back? Automatic defense turrets. But they basically explained it. Put in an AI, put it on at all times, and you have your automated turret.
So what you're saying, though, going back to a couple sentences ago, is they can build the game around the ships. They don't have to build the ships around the game.
Exactly. Yeah, you
that makes sense.
They keep, so the engine is really large, and they've explained it so many times. We make the engine so it's adaptable in modules, so we can put in pieces here. Now, once you start talking about how an AI chooses something, it's a spread thing. It's basically a spreadsheet, and you go in and you say, it has to have luxury class. Is this ship in the luxury? Yes. It has to have certain. Let's assume that the 890 jump only can go through large, and the 600 can go through medium. Speed is of the essence, so they will then automatically not choose the 890 jump. They will go for all of this stuff, and
they can just create certain. They can have parameters that create specific missions that lead the NPCs to choose whatever they're going to choose based on the parameters. I get what you're saying. Here's the problem, though,
challenge. It's not the challenge of the game.
The challenge is to convince someone to pay $400 for the fucking ship. That's the challenge.
I see what you mean by that.
But I think
you got to convince these people.
I think that's part of the reason why it is $400 is because they don't want as many of these sitting around as Auroras.
I guess so.
Yeah,
and I know Ben Lesick has said that before. That he said, sometimes we want to price the ships high because we want to limit the quantity out there, but we want to get them out there. But then, listen to this though. If that is the case, the 600i was not meant to be dropped at Gamescom, because Gamescom could have presented a huge opportunity to make fucking huge money for this project, therefore guaranteeing its success in the future. So then with that, who the fuck is in charge of saying when a ship concept drops? Because they could have come up with a smaller ship in the $150 price range, a concept for a smaller ship and another military ship or whatever, and they would have made more money. And whether you like it or not, and I've said this a billion times, they need to make money. They need to sell ships. Right now, they need to sell ships. They need money. They need your money. Open your damn wallet, click on rsi.com, and buy something today.
Buy more ships.
That's a call to action, damn it.
Only if you can afford it.
Well,
doesn't matter.
No, open a line of credit. Fuck it. Whatever.
This is bad advice. This is
bad
advice.
Car dealership before. They do not give a fuck if you can afford anything or not. They're like, no, we'll get you in this car. Don't worry about it. You only got $5. It's okay.
Cares about your debts.
We have a direct question here from Shady Pacey. He didn't post the questions in front of. He says that the problem is what are the amenities on the 600i comes with. The Phoenix has the hot tub. What does the 600i come with to make it worth the money? And I just have to say, if you look at the Q&A images, you can determine what's in it. For instance,
it has a
there's
holographic tiger and a big glass table for you to cut all the Coke you need to make it through your trip.
And it has a pool table.
And a pool table, so you can
Those
get
are details.
Big ass pool
Yes,
table.
but remember, they've already
That's why
stated
there's no
so many
rover.
times, pool tables are optional because the ships are fucking modular, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. You can use it as a command ship. Remember, they stated that if you want
think
to
you'll be
use
able to pull
something-
the pool table out and put a hot tub in its place?
Exactly. I was hoping. I was hoping actually that
they've
using
stated that for the Phoenix.
using all of
wouldn't
the
it be
flares you
like
already
for-
have, you can decorate your hangar. Why can't you? Why shouldn't you be able to decorate your ship, your the walls? But
Well, 'cause
They
it's
need
not
to make
possible
a
in
much
engine
better
yet.
system to do that
Well,
first.
I would say
The Moby
it
glass is
probably
coming,
is
man. You're going to be
All
able
I'm
to put on
saying-
your pants.
going to be.
I am
is.
not hopeful for the hot tub. I don't think
You're
it's
not-
actually going to make it into the game.
The water physics are going to be
Yeah.
the water physics.
Turn off gravity in your Phoenix with a hot tub. What happens to all that water? I mean, there's
It
just
doesn't move because it's bound to that
It
box.
gets sucked out automatically. Okay, I don't know.
yeah. With the
You can have local
ring systems.
There's something they're working on already that's called local static, and you can have something in the water that will make it stick. To
That breaks my immersion.
Everything breaks
go
your immersion.
go take
though.
your immersion and suck on it.
A plasma shield that only lets
So
through,
salty today, guys.
but lets through everything but water. Like, close off the
Are
hot
you going to
tub.
put a hot tub? Are you going to put a hot tub in your 600i, Eden?
I don't have a 600i.
Are you going to get a 600i
I like this guy.
in
He's
game?
You can
No, I'll just go find someone with a 600i and use it as a party boat. Duh.
You could put a
Right.
condom,
Put a condom
machine on
machine.
the wall.
That's probably
true.
very necessity, right? Yeah.
That's funny. It's not water. It's clear liquid aluminium.
I bet that will feel very nice.
That's a good point, Innovis. That could be an interesting little physics trip there. If the gravity is turned off, the water just evaporates for some reason. Science.
No.
Some
So-
unexplained
So I'm
scientific
gonna
phenomenon.
do science
be
on
hot.
it before we kick
Oh, here
to,
we go.
to music break. So, in more advanced systems, for instance, dampers for cars, shock absorbers, they have small filaments inside the oil that can be turned on to a certain stiffness on the fly in milliseconds, so that when the car hits the bumps, it can be made stiffer, so it doesn't really, damage the car, or it can make it softer if you're running low in a sports car mode, etc. All of this stuff is applicable to any fluid with electrostatic. So
you're
in the
saying
future-
that they could gel the water.
yes,
They could
instantly.
induce an electrical charge to the water and turn it into gel, and that is their lore that doesn't break Trade Mogul's immersion. I like it. Let's go to music.
We're
That's
done.
a good way to get out of there. I like it.
Y'all wrote
That's
that
good.
down? Nice.
Yeah. CIG, if you're listening, he just solved your problem.
You can make up any excuse in sci-fi. You can think of anything.
It isn't even sci-fi.
Yes, it is.
No.
Let's go. Music break. Then we'll be back. More Star Citizen talk. Remember, if you have questions, use question in square brackets followed by the actual question. It'll be get submitted, and you'll answer them in the tail end bit of the show. So now music, and we'll be back later.
Forced.
Hi, welcome back.
Remember, Trade. We like you, but people we like, we scorn.
Please, this is no different than any other conversation I've ever had with you.
It's a true story.
True.
Back to the yellow sticky note.
Oh god. Nobody wants to see two of me. There you go.
No, she said something about food and wine. I'm not sure.
Tell your kids to stop
Something about a
downloading.
robot.
That's what it is.
Sorry.
So now we have a post-it and a 600i. They walk into a bar.
Okay.
Give me a break.
Is this Dutch humor?
It must be.
Yeah.
I don't think that exists.
I think Dutch humor exists in excess, therefore it's hard to... It's so extreme that it's hard to recognize.
Yeah.
I only been there 3 times, so I couldn't tell. I need more trips.
Got lots of jokes about Germans and Jews in Second World War and that sort of stuff. Surprisingly, actually, it's probably the kinds of people that have moved the most furthest along past that than any other country has. We don't fucking care anymore. Well, not that we don't care. It's just, wasn't it like who said that? Like, humor equals tragedy over time.
It can.
I'll just to make sure you're not too soon, though. Anyway. Was there any other news in the Star Citizen thing? So we saw Mark Abent wreck a hard drive.
Yeah, that was funny.
We did? Oh, I didn't see
Yeah, he
that.
smashed it with a hammer on Bug Smashers.
Oh.
And they added explosions.
You can't... Well, what kind of hard... Was it like a actual
Optical.
mechanical?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was- Well, I'll tell you, I've tried to smash those with a sledgehammer before, and some of those are pretty fucking sturdy.
Oh, yeah. It's metal encasing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you want to destroy it, you got to drill it or melt it.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Or shoot it.
But you same drill, shoot. Yeah, bullet will go through it.
Mm-hmm.
5.56 green tip. Put a nice hole in it.
So, I want to go back to something they showed us at Gamescom. In FPS, you will be able to have many different, walking speeds, jogging speeds, sprinting speeds from mouse.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Wasn't it actually what they showed was, of course, the hint system showed like, oh, you can use mouse wheel to increase your walking speed. So would it have an absolute increase of walking speed, or would it go in big steps?
It's in relatively big steps, but
the animation is in big steps. The animation changes are probably like on specific points in the thing, but that still might mean that the rest can still be in smaller steps. You just don't see
I
the
think
animation
that's
change.
something.
That's
They're
what I
going to
wondered.
expand on that in the future. I guarantee that they're going to add a greater variation in run speed as it goes along.
Well, the thing is, right now you saw how buggy it was, and it probably has to do with not the server not always registering what the people. So they kept speeding up and then slowing down, speeding up and slowing down. So that's a bug with the new system. So they will have to flush that out before they can increase or make smaller steps in. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of back and forth.
Well, that's why you don't have 3.0 right now.
Well, that's what he also said. He actually just said, this is why you don't have 3.0 yet, because of crashes and all that stuff.
The animations look
But it wasn't really 3.0 we've seen anyway.
Yeah. And there's another thing they need to fix. It wasn't so apparent in the Gamescom demo, but if you watched some of the streams they did the other days, there's a problem with, like, if you're in the Ursa, for example, and say you get on an incline so that the rover's, leaning to one side. When you get out of the seat, the character does not conform to the inclination. You're standing flat, like as if you were on a flat surface. So that's something they definitely need to fix, because the problem with that is the seats in the front of the Ursa are so close together that there's only enough space for an upright person to walk through. So when it's on the incline, they can't walk through in between the seats.
No,
and I was watching them have
they have to just start the animation sooner, basically.
They're probably bound to the physics grid of the planet. So whatever the plane of the body that they're standing on, and not bound to the physics grid of the rover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they will have to adapt the rover so it will be suitable
all
for any
ground
planet.
vehicles.
Well,
I think they just gave the
need to
rover
adapt
gravity
the character
field.
because say the floor is like this in the Ursa, it's on an incline, but the character's feet like the foot it's like floating above the floor.
Yep.
Because it's as if there's characters standing
because
flat.
it's bound to the plane of the ground underneath the rover instead of the rover itself. Yeah.
Well, maybe, they need to change the way the characters, if you're saying there's another... If the physics grid doesn't move...
How many male animations did they still have to go? Jaylee said something about a ridiculous number in the thousands, 4,000 or 5,000, or a couple of thousand of animations still to be finished off for the male before they can start doing the female.
Yeah.
So I think his point is it could be something that's already in there. It's just not in there.
It takes time.
I think that's just, it's not a...
It's part of why we don't have
It's a fundamental thing that they need to change. It's not like a specific animation that they need to mess with. It's a part of like the rig, like the skeleton they need to change. I don't think it's a specific animation.
No, I think that's probably part of a bigger system. They still need to build anyway. Like how will ships with gravity generators close to a planet interact with the planetary gravity? What happens? If you put it upside down, will it cancel each other out, or will it add to each other when it's upright or whatever, that sort of thing? I mean, Space Engineers has these functions built in already. I'm pretty sure that even there it wasn't very easy to do. It's all physics, and even those ships. I mean, if you build a similar thing to the rover, or a ship with internal gravity, and you're on a planet which has planetary gravity as well, they are going to, the game will calculate they will add them or whatever calculations you use, so that it ends up with a like your gravity point pulling you down will be somewhere in between them, depending on how strong each of them are, and you'll actually slant sideways or whatever you do, interact on it. It's quite interesting there. Assuming that'll be built in Star Citizen.
Well, I think part of the problem is you end up with, because the rover is controlled by the physics grid of the planet and the inside of the rover is controlled by the physics grid of the inside of the rover, the character isn't getting the orientation of the rover sent to
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wish I could find it, but there was a company that developed new character movement technology as not open source, but whatever you call it, shareware or something like that. And I've been looking for it for a minute. I can't find it, but this company had it was insane how the character conformed to the terrain and everything. It actually leaned on a slope to try to keep itself like a human being would, parallel to its center of gravity and all this shit. But I don't see it. I don't remember where the hell I watched it. It was great.
But how Finnish is it?
It was pretty good. I don't know how finished it is.
Remember, CIG is terrible with choosing partners to work with.
Oh, absolutely.
Not because.
But I don't necessarily think it would be a partnership deal. It would be more like, and I don't know what engine it works in, because most shit, there isn't a lot of stuff that was written for CryEngine recently, or Lumberyard. So
I think a lot of this stuff can be adapted to different systems, especially if they make system not for a specific game or an engine. And a lot of the people do that these days, so it's transferable between different coding engines.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff's agnostic.
Thank you. A word I didn't remember and will not remember in 5 minutes.
Anytime.
Exactly.
Oh, of all the images you've seen on the 600i, what spurred you the most? Not burned you, that's for the next round, but spurred you.
I think it's sexy as hell. It's a good looking ship. It's cool. I like the design.
I would have 100% bought it had it also included a snub fighter. That's the only thing.
It has a luxury rover.
Right, but that's the only thing that kept me from buying it was the Aquila comes with a rover and a snub fighter.
Yep.
And the 600 comes with a rover and extra storage space. I'd rather have the snub fighter. That's just me personally, though.
Remember, you can have the X1 in it.
Yeah, but you can't have the rover and the X1 readily deployable.
No. Do you think you could get an X85X into it?
No.
I don't know.
No, I think
it's pretty long.
The wingspan's
the
too wide
85X it's pretty big.
Because that ship, I mean, I don't know. I guess the 890 jumped too, but I feel like that ship makes sense that you would have a.
I think you can compare
85X with it.
Whatever rover bay will be on the 600i will probably be the same width, about the same width as the one on the Constellation. So it'll fit a rover, like pretty much close, and with the way it is a wheel span. So I'm pretty sure a ship won't be able to fit in there anyway, because there's no way to actually retract wings or whatever. It's just not that wide at all.
If you look in chat, I've linked it.
Just fix. Yeah,
You
it's
see,
like
you
a,
have
it's
you
a
have
garage,
you have
not a, yeah.
Yeah, and you have space to the right of the vehicle for more cargo space, and there you can technically, as they said, store an X1, but it wouldn't be readily deployable. It would take, or Nox, but it would take time to get it out. The thing about the X1, it's a fighter, right? Or a little.
The X1 is like
those are race.
I think it's going to be like a bike.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be like
It
an
is?
ox, I think. Yeah.
I don't even know anything about it.
I thought it's going to be a closed canopy racer.
Open cockpit racer is what it
something like
said.
that.
So I'm thinking it's going to be like an ox.
Tiny F1
crotch rocket.
Maybe.
I just think
We'll
if
see.
you're exploring, having a snub fighter so you can keep your main ship parked where it is and like scout with your snub fighter is a more valuable thing.
Why does this guy keep saying awkward? Shit, score, awkward. This is awkward. Why? What is awkward? Tell us, please.
Or don't.
I think he just wants more voice changer.
Maybe.
Oh.
Please.
He wants the chipmunks.
We can oblige.
I can bring out the chipmunks.
You are
well.
hereby forewarned. I will mute your ass.
Nice.
You're assuming we give a shit.
Doesn't matter. You're warned.
The triplet said the Aquila looks luxury enough to me, and that, you know what, that's a lot of people think that, but everybody's different. So, and we've said a billion times before, this game is going to need to have thousands of different styles of ships that are flying around to make the universe not seem like, the same 5 ships over and over and over and over again. So small ships, big ships, medium ships, just like women, all different shapes, all different sizes. That's what makes the world a good place.
Well, the more money you have, the more you require to travel in style and in just relaxing. So I don't think you're going to have a C-130 being the main cargo or transport ship, with a flip down seat and air protection being handed out as the main CEO transport mode in space. And it's, you might have, that's another thing that you might have as a game factor in the game, is that there will be loafers, let's call them that want to travel as cheap as possible. People that, NPCs that want to work for the travel. There will be regular passengers, and there will be high-end passengers, and then there will be, Bill Gates of the world.
And that's
all
why
that stuff.
That's why you have this high end of the spectrum with the 600, with the 890 jump, the super sexy luxury expensive ship. We also need the other end of the spectrum, the shitty, dirty, grungy, just lowest bidder manufactured ships. Also,
something that's really more cheap,
mundane,
way cheaper than the Starliner.
Right.
Something in the $200 range.
Right.
That can take a lot of passengers, but they're cramped as fuck. And fights guaranteed.
You know what? That might actually make doing that job entertaining. I might actually do that if there's there's people just getting all pissed and fighting. Yeah, that might be kind of interesting.
Tasers should be a thing.
Oh! They get to tase fucking people? Yes, dude! Yes! We're doing that.
These NPCs can be fun.
And just fly them into his sun. Really want to kill them.
I just want to hit.
Sit the fuck down! Shut up!
I just want to hit on what Innovis said there. He said people will always use what is considered to be the quote-unquote best ship because people like templates. And while that is all fine and great, the CIG has said it, and you can see it in their designs. There will be no one ship. Now, there might be one great ship for, let's just use mining, for example. If you're by yourself, there might be one best ship for mining. There might be one best ship for mining as a multi-crew. They might have 6 or 7 different ships that all can do that role, but there might be one best ship for that, but there's not going to be a best ship for the entirety of the game. If you're a combat pilot, there may be a best ship for short, close-range dogfighting, for long-range tactics. There very well could be there probably will, because that's usually the way that it goes in game design. But there's not going to be one overarching ship that you can buy to do everything in the game, which is good.
Right, but you still have the problem of if the Aquila is the best exploration ship, nothing else is going to be used for exploration in the Aquila.
Sure.
Just going to answer Harold real quick. Yes, stun sticks was a thing in the early stages of the game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be part of the game and the police and the NPCs in the game. So don't worry. Tasers in any shape or form will take it.
Well, how else are you going to be a slaver if you can't electrocute people to get them to move where you want?
Right? Yeah. It's called shit.
You come up with a word
incentive.
Break.
Oh. Incentive.
We need duct tape in the game. We need duct tape. I want to duct tape passengers to their seats when they misbehave.
You can't do that.
That'd be great, though.
We're talking about tasing people, but you can't do that either.
I would do that in real life in a heartbeat. Duct tape is awesome.
Jeez, you're going to have to make them sign some really fucked up waiver when they get on your ship.
That's why he's stuck in Norway. They won't let him go anywhere else.
They won't let him leave. They let him cross the border to Switzerland to buy alcohol, and they send him right back.
Right.
Do they allow me to go that far? I thought I only was allowed to go to Sweden and Denmark.
Okay. I think we'll do a music break, and then we'll be back. Do we have salt? We'll find salt.
Complain.
And then we can complain. Keep the questions coming. Thank you, Harold, for the question. You can submit them in the same way he's done, with the question in square brackets followed by the question. And we'll do all of those in the last block. So stay tuned. We'll be back after the music.
Yeah, I'm waiting. When are we coming back?
Today, sometime today.
We're back, asshole. Are you happy now?
Yeah. I always love it when Roland shuts the fuck up in the beginning.
It's just trolls. Just let everybody sit there in silence.
So, are we at the salt block yet?
I thought this whole show was basically a little bit of salt. Nothing over dramatic, but a little bit.
So what are we talking about? Guns, bombs, hand grenades, armor.
The Reddit flare.
Reddit flare.
We're talking about a massive snowflake meltdown over fucking icons on Reddit. Really?
Why, though?
It's because they can't be special snowflakes.
Because it's not fair.
It's not inclusive. If I can't have mine, you can't have yours.
It's gonna cause inter-org drama.
No, good.
Because there's not already inter-org
Because that doesn't
drama.
happen yet. Yeah,
What the fuck?
We needed icons for that to start happening. Sure. But okay, is there any legitimate point to that? Is it
That's
fair
what I thought too,
for only
okay.
10 organizations to have, their icons represented?
Maybe, just maybe, it was a relatively large undertaking for the few people that are actually running that Reddit. So they wanted to do 10, and maybe eventually they'll do another 10, and then another 10, and then another 10, until they have tens of thousands of fucking icons stored somewhere on a server that somebody else is paying for. It's whatever. Fucking whatever.
The Eve Reddit does the same thing, but they have a bot that handles it, so the mods don't have to do any kind of work.
Yeah.
I have no comment. I have not read this. I don't care to read it. It's on Reddit, therefore I will not read it. What else? No, don't give a shit.
Let me see if I can find this thing. There's some salt in here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, I don't know where it went. But basically, it has to do with spectrum moderation, right? And someone copied a conversation they had with they were sent a message by a CIG moderator because they posted something about the 600i, which I read his comments and they weren't really derogatory, but the moderator's rebuttal was something about rule number 9, which is threads specifically created to induce drama. And he got, not permabanned, but he got a temp ban from Spectrum for asking a question. And it was just a question. It wasn't even really all that derogatory. So my point is, over moderation. It's like a problem for people? Is it a problem for... Here's a good one. When Relum and I are having a conversation, I am American. I speak in a certain way. Relum is Dutch. He speaks in a certain way. And we don't always communicate properly because of the mannerisms in vocalizing your thoughts are different from place to place to place to place, right? So what I say means something to me. Relum reads it as a different thing because in his culture, the way they speak is fundamentally different. So when you have let's just say an American making a post on a thread, but a German moderating that thread, is there a huge potential for the German to misinterpret what is actually being stated because they're fucking snowflakes and everything that they see makes them melt?
Text
or
form
an
is
American
easier though.
or an American trying to interpret German English because it's the sentence building of the German.
Right.
So that is definitely a possibility. But many Hitlers and many bosses and many sergeants is living in a large part of the population. A lot of them become moderators. So yeah. It's been this game is not unique. It's a problem in every game and in every community. So eventually those moderators are singled out and taken away, but it takes time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But if that person repeats that kind of behavior, the companies usually tend to, especially if it's companies involved, they tend to shun them away eventually after enough complaints, enough repeats of the same thing. But for now we're at early stages and
well, I think that what I saw on Reddit was that like Spectrum is just an echo chamber for CIG support. Like no one ever says anything bad about CIG on Spectrum. It's all just how amazing is this CIG, our Lord and Saviors, and Reddit is a little bit the opposite, where it's a lot of shit posting about CIG, and people are feeling threatened that the moderation team is taking a more pro-CIG stance, and they don't want their area to shit-talk CIG to go away.
Oh, they're taking a pro-CIG stance by adding the fucking icons. No, I don't think so. But yeah, you're right about... I think you're totally right about Spectrum. The thing is, first of all, it can be very easy to misinterpret a person's tone on the internet through text, no matter what nationality you are and they are, or language difference or whatever. It can be very easy to misunderstand what someone is trying to say or the way they're trying to say it in text. That's first of all. The second thing is from what Trade was saying, I agree. I think a lot of people on Spectrum, and definitely a lot of the mods on Spectrum, are like, did you see that image of the what level of Star Citizen backer you are? Like, there's the haters, and then on the other end there's the complete insane evangelical. I think a lot of the Spectrum mods are pretty high on that. Yeah, the zealots, so they might be a little overzealous in defending the game on Spectrum. So yeah, over moderation can definitely can happen in that environment. But it is how it is. CIG picks who they want to pick. They're going to pick people who want to support and promote the game.
Yeah, I could see fires going on about the whole moderation thing, and I don't know if we're talking about the same person or not, because there's a lot of dickbags. I mean, there just is. It's the internet. It is what it is. They gave me a fucking microphone, for God's sake. But yeah, here's the fundamental problem with this last comment. One asshole in Spectrum even threatened Matt Sherman by saying devs should be taken out. What does that mean? Taken out if they don't make the changes I am demanding. Now, taken out, is that a physical threat? Is that they should be fired? It's very subject to interpretation. Like you said, Mog, you don't know what's going through somebody else's mind, and the world is not a safe place, and internet threats are a real deal and shit like that. But
taken out, I cannot take that.
My interpretation is shot. Yeah, it's pretty
serious.
Shot.
That's serious. It doesn't matter what you mean by taken out. It's just in the world we live in. It's a serious meaning. It cannot be interpreted as anything else.
my whole take on it, and I've said it a million times, man, you could be an armchair developer all day long. It doesn't mean shit. You could think you know this, that, and the other. It doesn't mean shit. You know why? Because you don't have the money or the power to fucking do anything about it. You donate to the game or you don't donate to the game. You sit and watch the game get built regardless of your opinion. Now, going back to what I was talking about earlier with Noobifiers, 600i Q&A part 2, he said, the CIG fan base community has great power, and they have proven that through the changes they were able to effect with the Cutlass. Now, remember the Cutlass when it was billed as a nimble fighter and all this stuff, and it wasn't actually a nimble fighter. It was a freaking space brick with a lot of guns on it, and everybody tripped out, so they changed the ship. Now, do we know if they changed the ship for the good or worse? They made it bigger. There's no question. They didn't make it a nimble fighter. Yeah, but they didn't make it a nimble fighter, which was that everybody was bitching about.
They made the Buccaneer.
Right,
they made the Buccaneer. So
and they gave people the opportunity to swap out their Cutlass for the Buccaneer.
Because there is no one ship. You want to take cargo, you forgo the nimbleness. That's how it is.
There is no game changer ship, even if Ben says there is.
Well, that came from a studio tour from Gray-Headed Gamer or something, where he saw a ship that was game changing. But I think they just mean like some sort of new.
It's going to be a boarding ship
loop,
with a really sharp, pointy nose that you drive right into the side of an Idris, and it pokes a hole in it, and it opens up, and it allows your Marines to just walk right in.
Well,
like, what movie was that?
Keep dreaming.
What wasn't that
every
on
sci-fi
The
movie
Expanse?
ever?
A gray-headed gamer might have a thing he wants to do in the game, or Ben might have a thing he wants to do in the game, and if that ship fulfill that role, it will be game-changing for him. So he used the word game-changing. And it can be misinterpreted in so many ways. It's basically third. We're hearing it, from a third party.
Well, the only way you're really gonna know is if you take a long ass holiday and spend a bunch of money and set up a studio tour in LA, and then set up a studio tour in Manchester, and then set up a studio tour in Frankfurt, and you don't really need to go to Austin, right? And then you're not supposed to say anything, but then you would know, because you would see all these things that people see, and they're trying to say, I know something you don't know.
All right, I'll be back next week.
Right?
Can we say we don't care?
I think it goes along.
I'm going to quote something. I'm not going to say where I read this, but doing something too much kind of takes the fun out of it. The anticipation of something is kind of half the fun.
Yes.
Your brain melting, Yunta.
Well, it is, but we.
What are we talking about again?
I want to play a game. I don't want to anticipate anything. I want to start playing this shit.
You just want to get right in there.
I mean, that's about. I don't want to know everything now.
No, absolutely, I agree.
I want to explore. I want to find out. And yes, we're going to see a lot of this stuff as the game is being developed. But I really, sincerely hope they keep something back until the end of, where we're closer in beta.
They're going to do that anyway.
I think they're already doing it. And I also think that every once in a while, when the community gets too much in turmoil, they have accidental leaks and shit like that to quell the pitchfork mob, But I don't fucking know. I
mean, everyone gets pissed that they save stuff for, magazine articles and shit like that. So
you have to, though. If you
to market the game,
yes, you have to
do.
And you have to be able to say, I'm going to give you an exclusive to put on the cover of your gaming magazine. That's like one of the most popular European gaming magazines out. Yeah. That's how you get the cover. So then when it sits on newsstands, you're giving them the exclusive. It's right on the front of the stand, and people are like, what is this? So it's a win-win for both the company that's marketing it for them and the company that's being marketed. So, you know, you got to think about all that shit. Which is why it doesn't piss me off. We were one of the few groups out there that when CIG had their previous information stream weren't really bitching about CIG not being transparent. Remember that? It's supposed to be open development. I'm supposed to be able to see everything that you guys are doing. Remember those conversations?
Open development means that you are part of the development. We have never
they decide
been
what
and
they
will
show,
never be part.
Period.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Here we go.
You know what the fuck
You
I'm
triggered
saying.
T.O. on the semantics
God damn it.
discussion.
Right. But at the same
And we
rate,
had the
you know,
discussion before.
they changed their
Many
format to
times.
give more information, more behind the scenes, more little shiny sneak peeks, all that stuff.
And what do they get for that?
Shit. They get shit on.
Yeah.
They still get bitchers bitching because it's
They
not
get
enough.
more shit. They get more shit for the stuff they show that is broken. And they get shit for not showing more stuff that's broken.
I don't think they, like, I think this 3.0 patch has kind of shown that they don't have a bunch of mechanics hidden behind closed doors. The only thing that they could really leak to us is, like, ships. And I think a lot of the community is tired of seeing ships because they want mechanics and they want them now. Because
Right.
I've been waiting 4 years for an MMO that's take 9 to develop, and I want this game now.
And I'll agree with
certain
you.
mechanics are tied.
Right,
They
I'm
need
just
to be
saying
made in sequence.
they're not hiding like a mining mechanic behind closed doors because they don't
That's
have
what I was
one
just
yet.
gonna say. It's scary to think that they don't even have mining yet at all, and it's supposed to be. Well, I mean, it's not like they don't
disagree
have
with
it at
that.
all.
3.1.
They've got to
I thi-
have a prototype at least. but
Right.
It's like fuck. Brian Chambers said, I don't know how many months ago that mining might be in 3.0, but
But
like,
won't.
What is going? Yeah, it's like it would be
Well,
nice to know what is going on with a lot of the
Mining is not
mechanics.
set up to be in, what is it, 3.1 or 2 or 3?
3.1 mining.
So it's, but there was some talk about mining already possibly being leaked, or not leaked, but coming in 3.0, at least the basics of it.
Oh,
But
gosh.
I don't think it's coming in 3.0 at all because it's, and neither do I want it in a broken state. Please keep it out of 3.0 and just give us the ability to land on planets. That will entertain us for weeks.
Yeah, they said a while
For a
ago
few
that
days.
3.0 wasn't going to have mining because when they made the list of tasks that needed to get done to get mining in, they were like, oh, never mind, we can't do this.
Here's a different conversation that's
Procedural
happening in the chat right now.
asteroids.
Jokic is totally triggered again, which is fine. That's part of his personality. I love you. Who wanted food in Star Citizen? LOL. Are they serious? Now I have to worry about feeding my needy character.
Yeah, the survival mechanics.
But they're not like
They
lazy
already
survival
stated
mechanics.
No,
It's
it's not
not
going to be
Daisy.
that regular.
it's not
Yeah,
It's
daisy.
not
every
Daisy.
couple of days.
It just means that if you don't shower or use the bathroom, there will be certain establishments that say, you stink, please go take a shower
They're just
and then come back.
yeah.
And if you go into a desert environment or stuff like this and you don't bring with you the stuff you need to survive,
What? You mean there isn't going to be a Walmart for those people to go to, Tio?
Space Walmart.
Yeah, but the thing is though that I mean they want these missions and this thing to be immersive enough. Not that immersive, obviously. So it's not going to be survival mechanics, but the
One
gameplay
second,
mechanics
I'm gonna go fetch something. 1 second.
I'm gonna fetch something. Go ahead.
But we'll see how
think
they
of how
do it
this works
because
though, because you're in your ship, you're exploring in your explorer ship on your own, or maybe with a small AI crew, whatever, and then you have to dock somewhere, whatever. You need to talk with some a very VIP guy or something, and you've been away in your ship for so long that you need to freshen up first before you go in there. Because otherwise, they'll think, oh, you've been away for so long in your ship all alone, you stink, and you haven't been freshening up and whatever. I mean, it's probably not that important, but it's still going to be a small
Well, they did say if you don't eat and drink every couple of real life days, then you die. But I think there's going to be a bunch of penalties, so it's not going to be something where you forget, like, oh man, I forgot to eat.
I hope you don't die, but maybe you'll have such low stamina that it's just going to be...
Well, here's the thing, right?
Everything's subject to change.
Yeah.
Have you ever been camping?
Yep.
Do you take things with you when you go camping? Do you take stuff with you? It's the same damn thing. You're going to go out exploring. You got to prepare. You got to have a reasonable amount of rations, a reasonable amount of water. They're not saying that, like we said, it's not going to be damn Daisy where you hit the ground and your guy's like, oh, I'm thirsty. And you drink, and your guy 30 seconds later is like, I'm really thirsty. And you can't find water anywhere, and you're going to die and all this shit. I highly doubt it's going to be like that.
Tio brings out the military rations.
The original Grip says, I like the idea of having to survive until someone can pick you up if you get stranded, but all the time, no way. What, you mean you don't want to drink your own piss?
Dude, that better be a mini game.
This is way bigger.
Into a snake skin.
This is a knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
This is a knife.
I can pick my nose with this thing.
I got a machete. It's a shitty one, but
fucking rusted.
Something simple like a MOA system where you have attachables on your backpack or on your vest that you know where you can have a survival kit to it. Or like you keep inside in your armor or in light vest drinking system. All of this stuff just means that you have to have it with you. You don't really have to do it. Hydration system that is. In once you go into the desert, for instance, or into space close to a star or other object that emits heat or radiation.
What's that machete for anyway? Like chopping bamboo in the jungle?
To cut brush out of your way. No, cut brush out of your way if you need to make a structure to sleep in at night, a little lean-to or something. You can cut down little tiny saplings and you can make rope out of them and everything. It's cool. Haven't you watched Bear Grylls, man? Come on.
That guy's so fake.
Well, yeah, he's fake. But have you ever seen Fat Guy in the Woods?
No.
Because that shit's pretty crazy. They take some idiots and fucking put them out in the woods and they sleep in the rain because they can't get a fucking fire started and all kinds of shit. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Like, you can't start a fire, dude? Come on.
Yeah, right?
That's like 101.
I think we're at least 50% of the world's population, if not way more, cannot even begin to start a fire. Even if they wanted to in a dry environment in Santa Ana winds.
Zed Webster has the right idea. Auto feed while wearing a suit.
I can find some scientific way to do it. Maybe if you take a water bottle and use the lensing effect to put a bunch of thatch on fire or something like that, I think that'll work, right?
Yeah, you could do it with a water bottle. You can do it with a plastic bag too, full of water.
You know what I hope, going back to this gaming mechanic, the survival mechanic, I hope what they do is every couple of days you need to hit a truck stop and you need to go into that truck stop, go into the galley, get a tray full of food with a drink, sit your ass down for 5 minutes and fucking eat. While your ship's getting... And then take a dump and take a shower, and then you can get the fuck back in your ship for a couple days, and you can go explore. That's what I hope.
Then shower. That's the order.
Yes.
Eating, you could put
shit in the shower
somewhere else, but maybe not one.
This being Star Citizen, the shitter is going to be in the shower.
Look, they didn't spend so long on those cafeteria animations for no reason.
Exactly.
And all the toilets, why do you think they're there?
Well, remember we had Jay Lee on this show, and he was doing his little demonstration of the fucking shitting motion capture.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. We'll see. We don't know. I highly doubt it's going to be game-breaking and eat up all of your time, but at the same rate, I highly doubt Trade Mogul is going to have his dream game where he gets to sit on Terra in some penthouse apartment just ranking in credits by trading shit on his Moby Glass.
See, Trade wants to sit in a fucking office at a desk on a computer trolling the fucking
World.
Economy
Universe.
or whatever, which is exactly what he does in real life. So it's like, what?
Look, all I'm saying, guys, is there is a backer who's put a lot of money into this game who wants to do the same thing as I do, so I'm hopeful.
Ooh,
So you got 2.
No. He has over $1 million in the game.
I know
There's
who
trouble
I know
getting
who you're
ready to
talking
start
about.
over here.
Hey, John Tower, you want
Is
to
it
put
Chris
Alien
Roberts?
into the game?
Oh, there's the high kick.
Oh my god.
High kick
This,
to the
this
back of
is
the
my
head.
life.
With the boots.
That's why I need to get in that
Does
room
she
and
take
bolt the
karate or
door.
anything?
You should tell her that wasn't a high kick. That was just
She
a
works
medium
out more
kick.
than I do. You know how much I paid for this chair? Don't kick this fucking chair. What's you out of your damn mind? Holy hell!
She could say like, you know how
What
much you
the
paid for those
fuck?
boots.
I bought those.
Like with money you set away from buying.
We need to go to music
600
break so
those
I can
kicks.
beat my wife.
Oh. That time already.
Tribble has a point. You know, in real life, you trade futures. In the game, you'd probably trade actual commodities.
All right, then let's listen to some more Steely Dan or something, and then we'll be back after the break. We'll have the
She comes. She's
question
coming out. Hold on.
answering.
Hold on. Here
Oh,
it
God.
comes.
Oh shit!
Da, 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 da.
Oh, we got
She's
Sakani.
gonna shove that right up your ass.
What an
I got
idiot.
one of those in this format. Are we ready? Okay, we'll go to music break.
This is my life.
Ask some more questions if you have them, and then we'll go. See ya. Hello, welcome back to the round table. There, use that one. With the last block, the question block, the Q&A, the we answer everything.
That'll be all
shit,
over
dude.
the internet in about 30 minutes, Mike.
I thought we had a rule now. That Junta stated last time. We reserve the right to not answer stupid question.
Well, I thought
Hey,
the rule
check
was
this
like
out.
Geo is never going to read those again.
We have breaking news.
I'm fine with that. Can we
So-
make that a rule?
Sophie Girl and Batgirl are currently at DragonCon in Georgia, where there is a Star Citizen Q&A going on right now, basically, and we're with Disco Lando and somebody else, and they just revealed the X1. Here, Roland, let me drop
What's
let me
the...
drop this link in chat. Sophie did a Periscope, and there's
Periscope?
an image of the X1. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
people still use that.
It's a Nox, but different.
It has a, I don't know, what is that, a size 1 or size 2, looks like, Canon?
Early concept, I don't like it. It looks
hope-
too Batmanish to me.
I hope that giant thing in the front, which is actually the back, is just a giant cannon. They need
Okay,
one of those.
I like that a little bit more. Is that when it's folded up around the pilot, maybe? Oh no, that's the second pass concept. Okay, I like that a little more. What happened to the concepts? Like the 600i got really futuristic, and now this is an origin thing though. So I guess they're keeping with the theme. It's really super ultra futuristic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Innovis
Well,
is not the final design, but
I mean, it looks similar to the kind of, design language of the 600, so.
look at all the Star Citizen nerds in there.
I want a space bike that's just a giant engine and a giant gun with
Oh,
Yeah,
the
like,
seat
uh,
strapped on.
Like a Herald, but a
Yeah.
ground Herald. Just sit on top of a rocket. Lots of space nerds there. Yay! Space nerds. That's cool. Good for them. I hope they had a good time.
Yeah.
I know Friday night they were pretty wrecked. With Notable Joe, that poor guy. So anyways, questions. If we still want to do this. The question did not make it into the question bot because it was never posted properly because Trade Mogul asked, why do you let your wife kick you? Because she cooks me food. That's the answer to that question. But the actual question that he asked during the break was, do you think that 3.0 is actually going to be fun? And
you
I
know
think
who that depends on? Your ass.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's going to be that many.
Oh, then you won't enjoy it.
Because you just want to sit on your ass and fucking.
Hey, Mog, I will shoot you in Star
stocks.
Marine all day long.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. You know what's gonna happen.
You're gonna grenade me, and I'm gonna cry about it.
Uh-huh.
Yep. That's funny right there. So, you know...
So it's a tiny bike.
It's a tiny bike. Tio makes a great point, right? Is 3.0 going to be fun? You know what? When you were a little kid, if you didn't experience a sandbox, you're not going to have fun in 3.0 because you don't understand what it's like to actually use your imagination to create your own adventure. Out of nothing but sand and a bucket. Mm-hmm. And maybe a Tonka truck, maybe, if you were lucky. If you were one of the 1%ers who had, like, bulldozers and shit. But, yeah.
So you get a big-ass sandbox. Massive sandbox. It's probably going to be buggy for a while. But you get guns and ships and all the other stuff you don't have to imagine. And you can have all the fun thing you can do. Imagine just the gameplay in FPS you can have in 3.0.
Yes.
On a planet.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I am excited for the map that they're coming out with for Star Marine, the planet side map.
Oh, fuck Star Marine. Well, I don't know. I'm interested to see it, but I think Star Marine is going to kind of die a bit, because of what you'll be able to do in the PU. Assuming we can have like a decent amount of people in one server,
it's the same as it is right now. It's 24.
Did they say that
at Gamescom?
Yeah.
What they said at Gamescom is it's going to be 24 plus whatever we can manage it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, that's still potentially a 12v12.
Right, but that's if you can get them all in the same area.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Thinking about the scenarios we could possibly... I'm looking forward to doing just FPS scenarios with AOTW. You know, just whatever kind of crazy shit we can think of. You know, you come down on a ship and we try to shoot the shit out of you, or we're driving in Ursa Rovers or Cyclones or Noxes or whatever the hell we got.
Defend the base and all kinds of shit.
Defend something. Yes, try to, you know. I think there's going to be a lot of fun, at least in FPS, to be had.
Yeah, and if there's derelicts on the planet, you can use those as tactical points and all kinds of shit. I'm going to make a real quick point here. Miami Bat says his apologies to Eden Star. He feels like he scared her off from his earlier comment about some blah, 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 right? I'm going to tell you what, Miami. If Eden can handle me, you aren't shit. Because I can be a motherfucker to that girl, and she takes it like a champ. She is really she's a part of the family.
Can you, Miami?
I can verify that.
We can't really say she had a previous engagement because this engagement is every Sunday, but she had another engagement.
Yeah, it involved food and wine and
it's called a life.
Hanging from a silk cloth from the ceiling or something weird shit. But anyways, and then the other comment I wanted to make was gray-headed gamer. Hi. No tables.
GHG?
You know why we don't have a round table, a real round table? It's because CIG has all my fucking money.
This is true.
Can't afford a round table.
Can't afford a table
one thing
anymore.
I'm looking forward to the most in 3.0 PU, whether it is PTU or whatever it is, the first guy to yell, "This isn't fair," when he dies on the planet trying to shoot down a plane.
Standing out in the open.
Right.
I had a real gun.
There's a round table.
There is a round table.
And I just can't wait to shoot at shit from the back of a moving Ursa. Just saying. I can't wait to do that.
Even if you don't hit it, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But
be a whole game.
It's really going to hinge on one thing, Trade, is party system. If we get the ability to do what we used to do and get, 8 people all in the same instance, then you can have fun with your friends. If it's as broke as it is right now, it's really difficult to get in 2.6.3 with anybody. Even the people that it says, hey, join on this guy's instance, a lot of times that shit just don't work.
Right, but they've already said no party system for PU in 3.0.
Someone said party?
You can join up inside the PU in a party system, but there's no, friend join the same instance system, except for the one that we have now.
Well, that's horrible then. That's a mistake.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah, that's a big mistake if they don't allow at least a group of 4 to join together simultaneously into the same server, even if it has to spin up a new server for them. Because, wait. I thought that somebody said that this game was all about playing with your friends, like on the Millennium Falcon, having that Star Wars experience. So how are you going to play with your friends on the Millennium Falcon, like the Star Wars experience, without the fucking ability to join previous to entering a server?
Game's
Come
not done
the
yet,
fuck
dude.
on.
I think we're gonna be just fine. Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Didn't we have some questions that
No, this is bullshit.
I'm not. Yunta, you had a question that I'm not gonna read, so go at it.
Did Jude take all his fashion tips from the 1990s Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? That's from Werewolf 13.
Who's that?
Mark Wahlberg is fucking awesome. It's too bad he's American. Okay. Karn the Slayer asked, where do you find the camera to do facial recognitions? You don't yet because it's not released. It was prototypes that we saw done, but it'll be soon. I guarantee it.
I forgot what's the name of the company.
For Christmas.
Faceware.
Speaking
of which,
we build cameras for Star Citizen.
It isn't any.
That's the name of their company.
It isn't new tech. The camera itself isn't new tech. It's just a 1080p, 60 frames per second, high quality, high sensitivity, low light thing, which you can find anywhere else. Technically, you did buy
Not as a web camera per se. Low light camera for web camera use is not common, and not in 60 frames per second in 1080p. I can tell you that for sure.
Okay.
But
how much is it going to cost?
Yeah, I'm betting in the range
at least
of
150.
150.
120, but where the track AR lays. It's a.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a very close competitor. So, pricing you to your closest competitor would be. How much is it for the for a quality camera like a 920 or 930?
$70. $70.
You have to above that. So track AR starts at 120 at least.
At least, yeah, I agree. At least.
Yeah. I think it's such a niche item that they'll go with $250.
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
$250?
Yeah, why not? They're selling $400 spaceships.
I don't think so.
Remember,
it's going to be so. They have
maybe
a bigger
200.
market. They have a much bigger market.
See how I got Mog to bump up to 200 right there?
You're not going to.
Well, that's what I was originally
thinking,
and I brought it down. But
yeah, and what is that Stargazer thing? The Stargazer webcam? That thing ain't cheap. That's not the Logitech? Is that the Logitech one Innovis is talking about? The Logitech high end is $149.
No, Stargazer or something else.
Is it a Razer? The Razer.
Isn't that the new one?
Razer, yeah.
No, the new Logitech 1080, whatever it is.
Yeah, with the built-in green screen thing. Yeah.
Right.
Bizarre.
It only works on certain computers.
Which I think is specifically marketed towards like streamers.
I think going to be enjoyable. I'm getting one regardless of the price.
Well, yeah, I bought a 600i. Buy the webcam. Fuck, I don't care.
Oh,
whatever.
No,
there
but
just
the low
isn't
light part does
anything
interest
you
me.
will not buy from CIG. They could
got
put
the
shit
hat.
in a box and put a Star Citizen logo, and you will buy it.
Like it. Yeah. I got all the mouse mats.
Is it now we say I don't buy Star Citizen stuff?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. Let's see, where was I? Harold Sparhawk asked for the only how is that Squadron 42 cap holding up?
Using it every day. It's my favorite summer cap. I use it in the fall as well until it gets too cold.
Too cold?
Then I switch to a black cap with that's made out of leather.
Oh.
I have mine too, but I don't wear it on stream because you see what it's doing to him with the chroma key. He's got snowflakes on his head.
So it's technically navy green.
Yeah, he's melting right now.
And it's pissing these people off so much because when I switch lighting here, they really don't see any.
Oh, they still do.
It looks better like
they
that.
do have them for sale still. Okay.
You got color in your face.
Huh?
The hats? Yeah,
Yep,
they're still up there?
€19, $15, probably, whatever. Without VAT.
Yeah, they're all right. They're just like Moggimus's Rebel cap there, but it just has the Squadron 42 logo on it. It's the same damn thing.
It's basically it has a contour and it's flat. It's a low contour.
It's an army hat.
Yeah. So it's comfortable to wear and it doesn't look like a fucking baseball cap.
Yeah.
Well, I had to buy it
many
because
of
it's all
those.
they had. And it's black, so it makes my hair look not so gray. Right? This is working. And Innovis is exactly right. I don't buy Star Citizen shit. I go, man, they need some money. Here's $400.
For merch, they're not getting much off that.
Yeah, but I'm walking around supporting a game and people are like, what the fuck is Star Citizen? I was wearing an Anvil Aerospace Hornet shirt one day at a wrestling meet for my kid, and a guy was like talking to me like I was an astral engineer or some shit like that. and I played it off pretty good. I'm like, yeah, we're developing the next series of spacecraft. It's going to be great. You're going to be able to fly in space.
We're the next SpaceX, dude. Watch out for us.
Yep.
Went home and Googled it, and it's fucking video games.
Right? He's like, that fucking asshole.
Like, what the fuck?
He could have Googled it right there on his phone. When your kids are wrestling and you spend the entire fucking match with your face stuffed in your phone like a moron, but whatever, that's something totally different. All right. Miami Bat asks, what are the play styles all of you in the panel are going for?
Smooth.
Play style.
Smooth.
Well, I'm going to...
Depends on my mood.
I'm going to use my voice changer with my voiceover and my face
Just like,
rig for my female
You're just
avatar.
gonna troll
I am going to troll
everyone and just
young,
try to get free shit.
impressionable male gamers to give me free shit.
He's gonna J-Lee the game.
I'm going to totally J-Lee. Oh, roll. I'm merchant of some kind. I'm going to try all kinds of shit, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Cargo will probably be the mainstay, I would assume, but, got a prospector, so we'll try mining, and if it's engaging, then we'll mine, and I obviously have explorer ships, so I really want to explore, but...
We all need to make money, right?
Yep.
In the game, so we can do the things we do enjoy in the game. Now, one thing I know I will be doing is telling other people what to do. That's one of my favorite thing in the world to do.
Yeah, but you're actually good
or...
at it. It's funny, if you think he's being arrogant or whatever, that's fine. But when we play games together, we usually let him call the shots because he's really good at making really quick, intelligent decisions that don't get us killed instantly, which is always good when you're playing a game together. Because the rest of us will just sit there and go, I don't know. And he'll just go, no, fuck it, we're going here.
And the best thing is when you have 2 or 3 different radios and communication going on at the same time, trying to decipher. And the more players that are in play, the more fun it is. Imagine the chaos we have when we only have 4 people in PUBG. Just quantify that by, let's say, 100, and we have 400 people in play on each side.
That would be crazy.
That's where training comes in.
Anybody else?
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but I want a manufacturing and trade empire, but I also like shooting people in the face, so I'll probably do that in my spare time.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if you could rent part of a hotel on a planet with a view, and you can have your Star Marine in-game, what do you call it?
Yeah, in between transactions,
broadcasting stuff. Yeah, like closed circuit.
You go into some sort of pod, and you are in Star Marine, right? That's the idea in
Yeah.
VR pod
virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what he's gonna be. He's never gonna leave his hotel room at all. He's just gonna go in and out of the pod.
Why else would I have over 30 ships if I was gonna fly them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna do something with them.
Yeah, I
But
am.
flying is not one of them.
I might fly my brand new merchantman around for a while.
He's hoping to pay people to fly his ships for him so that he can make money on the return without actually having to do too much.
I feel like that's a good deal. You don't have a Hully, you want to fly a Hully, so I give you my Hully, and I just take a cut of the profits. That seems perfectly reasonable to me.
No, you take a cut of the loads. The loading space.
Yeah.
So you're going from here to here. Yeah, I'm going to require 30% of the loading deck, and
Yeah, I take all the risk. You get to fly a big ship. I just don't have to fly a slow-ass Hully around.
So I actually agree with Trade Mogul here. It's a valid way of doing stuff. Where we agree is when it comes to him wanting stocks and futures and all this stuff in the game.
I don't necessarily want stocks. I just want to be able to trade items on a commodity market.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if they go that far. I mean, they're saying that they're not going to do this, they're going to do that, they're not going to do this, they're going to do that. I have a feeling a lot of these design plans will change as the game evolves. And they say, oh, we need to do this. We just got to do it because the game is missing something. And what is that something? Right. And it could be like you're talking about trade, some sort of like the free market, I guess, style commodities. So it could be in there. It probably won't be in there at launch. Maybe. We'll see.
I will make my dream work in whatever framework I am given.
If you ever heard Trade Mogul being passionate about how this game is going to suck on so many levels.
But it's not a real economy.
When it comes to the economy, it would be funny. But it's still funny.
That was a big fucking discussion there for a little while. That was funny. What about you, Relum? What are you going to do? I don't know. See,
he's going to take screenshots. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's going to make 360-degree sphere screenshots of every inch of the fucking universe.
And then we'll street view it. Yeah.
He's going to be the guy that helps build that.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be managing the in-game part of the base radio. And he's going to be sitting there, mixing sound and videos and stills and 360s.
But I mean, earlier last week or maybe sometime before that, I already mentioned that once. Like, I do, and I think CIG will also cater to the casuals that want to play alone, and I think that's also something that I would occasionally be doing. Like, okay, let's just step back from playing with playing with your org and all these people and just like go out on an exploration mission on your own. And I'm pretty sure CIG will cater to those people as well, which would also be kind of like sometimes would be fun to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Every once in a while, I think everybody's going to want to be a little isolationalist and just disappear and go do their own thing.
But they have touched upon that in their discussion about how the game is going to work, and it will cater to those who don't want to be in a group right now. You can find stuff to do on your own. It will be depending on where you go. Some areas is more hazardous, but if you really want to go somewhere and just do it and be left alone, you can. But you will not be left alone from everything. There, regardless of if you're in a safe space or in a bad, really bad area, you will eventually get attacked. For instance, your ship will eventually break down. It doesn't really matter. It's just the intensity that's going to change. But you will still, if you are hauling cargo or mining, you eventually stay long enough in one space or travel long enough while carrying cargo, you will get attacked. Now, being in a safer area means that you get backup sooner. But you can still do, you can be fairly sure that the person attacking you is an NPC and not a human.
Which makes me think like maybe if you're good enough at managing your NPCs that you've hired, and like you're really trained at managing them and controlling them, maybe you could even just outgun or outfight the same kind of ship, piloted by all human players. I mean, who knows? It's not like they always said humans will always win. If you're good enough, you might still suck.
If your human sucks, sure you will.
Right.
But that's also something they mentioned in the last. Was it Aaron that mentioned it? That if the human sucks, yeah, he mentioned that if it was the black dude, in the turrets,
Oh, DJ.
He wouldn't be. Yeah, he wouldn't be better than the than the AI
than
turret.
DJ Knight. Yeah.
I think
What
the guy
else?
with the red cap, whatever his name was.
Oh, Meyer.
Yeah, Disco was poking at Meyer because he likes Meyer, so he'll do the same thing that I do. If I like you, I'll really talk big shit. So. Anyways, so Mog, you didn't
More
say
questions?
dick. Well, Mog didn't tell anybody what he wants to do because he
That's
doesn't
the
know.
thing. No,
He wants to do
I guess
everything.
I don't. I want to do pretty much everything. Yeah, everything appeals to me. The first thing I keep thinking of doing, though, is, I don't know why, it's just running fucking cargo. I don't know why I'm so interested in just doing that, but that's just a
To
nice,
see if we
chill
can make credits doing it.
thing
It's
to do.
simple,
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to do. But I want to land on planets. I want to explore. I want to drive around on planets in my Ursa that I broke down and spent $50. Gave him $50 for an Ursa after watching all the Gamescom stuff, because I'm like, yes, I definitely need to have one. I mean,
Dude,
yeah,
what about
I want to
that
do
other
everything.
one? Did you buy
Farming?
that
I
other
want to do
one?
farming. Huh? What?
The other one, the Cyclone. Did you get one of those?
No, I didn't get.
I got 5. I'll let you use one.
I know.
Yeah, I got 5 of those too.
I'm just gonna borrow one of yours.
Hell yeah, I'll hook
Look
you
at
up.
it. Look at it this way. We all say that or most of us said we want to try most things
Unless
in
you
the
have a
game.
driving license.
Yeah.
And that, I'm not
I do.
including your trade. Don't worry. But the point is that I want to try mining and I want to try my Orion, but I know for a fact that I wouldn't be using the Orion for long. It would be a short temporary gap stop for me to just know how the mechanics work so I can utilize it or instruct people afterwards or tell people how to fix my own ship when they're borrowing, etc. But stuff like, for instance, doing landings on planet, dropship landings with Marines, that sounds like the things I want to do. I don't want to do FPS that much. I like being in the back, giving orders to Moggimus and telling him what to do. Not how to do it, but where to go and what to take, etc. And then he'll do it. But I really like flying helicopters. I really like doing the dropship stuff. And for that to happen for me, I need to make money. And I think it's the same for all of us. We will have, after a while, tried most mechanics, and we will come back to the thing we like to do and the stuff we have to do to be able to do the things we want to do.
Yeah, I do really look forward to doing coordinated ground or ship operations. I do. That's going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, going down in a drop ship and, executing a mission, that's going to be a lot of fun. I will say that probably the first thing I want to do as soon as it's feasible for me to do it, when I have enough resources, is exploration. Again, I do want to explore, go find a planet, or if we really are going to have that opportunity with, the amount of systems there are and all of that, but we won't get into that discussion, to go find something that nobody else has and potentially, see something that for the first time that nobody else, that we don't know about, that hopefully we won't be told about. Big. I want to find freaking aliens on a planet. I want to find that crashed
the Clam Nebula.
Ship.
Well, a lot of people keep saying we want to have bases. We want to have
wee hamster.
We want to have this. We want to have that. There need to be mining resources close by. There needs to be a hub, but also there's going to be a lot of fascinating, extremely well-looking places in the game. Having a base there might be one of the most sought after and fought over areas. So there's many things that I think is going to influence where people play, planet side and space side bases in this game.
Yeah, well, one thing I'm really I'm hopeful for is a really well integrated organization structure, mechanic that you can help an organization get bigger and more economically sound and things like that. We don't know how any of that crap is going to work yet. Other than the fact that there may or may not be taxes, but I hope
there will be taxes.
There will be taxes, and we know that. But I hope that there's huge incentive to get people to work cooperatively for a common goal. Instead of just.
A lot of that's going to be meta. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If they make it so easy that you don't need your teammates, you can go wherever you want. In relatively safety, your chance of dying is low. Big organizations going to be globally fading away. It's going to be smaller, specialized organizations. But if they make the game hard, or at least in levels where you can start easy and then go tougher and tougher areas, and organization's going to have a place. Large organization's going to have a place.
Yeah, but it's all combined in with a bunch of shit. If you're going to be able to own factory nodes, we don't know. Maybe mining nodes on the planet side, stuff like that. Stuff like you've seen in the Gamescom demo where there's big drilling rigs and shit. If an organization that has worked really hard can own that stuff and actually have commodities to sell on the market to be an economic powerhouse, that would be fucking fantastic. That would be crazy. Just crazy.
But my idea is bad. Okay.
Oh, no, because you could trade for the org. And you could be the broker.
No, he just wants to do it for himself. He doesn't give a fuck.
I know,
about
because
the
he's
org.
a greedy bastard.
I'm happy to do it for the org. It doesn't matter to me. And like Triple said up in the top is there's plenty of people, despite what Tio says, that don't want to go through the hassle of finding the best price themselves. So I'll contract those people out. I will buy your goods right now for a reasonable price. That's slightly less than market value.
Money. Yep. Worth more to them.
And Triple B said the large org that he's in is just social, and there's tons of that, and that's great. You know, getting people together just to game and have a good time is great. And there's other orgs that aren't, you know, huge. They're big, you know, and I consider an organization that's like 250 plus members big. That's big, you know. When you start talking thousands and thousands of people, that's pretty fucking big. That shit's crazy.
That's huge.
It's pretty huge, right? But that's the beauty of the whole thing, is you could choose to be where you want to be. If you don't want to participate in that kind of a metagame where you're trying to build this economic powerhouse, then you don't have to. You could be in an org with 50 people that you've made friends with, or even 10.
Then that org can just befriend those huge monstrosities.
Yeah.
So you're
we'll
ally.
do jobs for you and this and that. And if we get in trouble, please, you know, don't shoot us when you see us, and maybe we can call on you if we need help and all that kind of shit. Yeah. So I think the org thing is a big fucking deal, based on the fact that this game has always been touted as a multiplayer game at that level, you know.
The more player they are able to fit in one instance, the more important it's going to be.
Yeah, you should buy a hat, John.
Any more questions?
Do it.
There's a couple more. Harold Sparhawk asked, what kind of shirt is John Rellum wearing? Yeah, your shirt. It has a logo on it. What logo is that? Is it a Base Radio shirt?
No, you don't see that logo?
I can't see it. No, I'm old.
It's Imperium.
Awesome.
It's from old Gamescom 2 years ago.
He's breaking the rules and promoting.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he's broke his own fucking rule.
I didn't make it, technically.
No, I don't. We don't. That's part of the deal when you're hanging out with me.
He's got an icon.
Oh,
fucking kill him.
Yeah. Well,
actually,
I
he
can't
asked
stand the Imperium thing in chat, so the little Imperium thing that I got from Torque 17's Twitch channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's a cool guy. Triple B asked, what's your preferred control schemes for Star Citizen? I like dual joystick, but I think that the mouse is more accurate, so I might go left-handed stick and mouse.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna do that.
I'm considering
I do that.
the dual joystick, but I'm actually I have the option open for left-hand stick and mouse, but it's probably going to be the Trustmaster HOTAS.
Yeah, the T1600M
throttle that has an analog button in front. I have it already set up, and I've been flying a little bit with it, and it takes a little bit learning, getting adjusted to it, but it's doing just fine. Doing better with this setup with mouse and a throttle, and I have done an additional 3-axis a 4-axis actually on the throttle. So I'm fine. I'm more than good.
Yeah, if you're
That's
not planning on being like a competitive style combat pilot where you're going to get deep into the thick of shit, it's whatever you feel most comfortable with. I just think that the mouse is more precise.
You're going to be the
when
best
you're
at that
one-to-one.
anyway.
The problem with the mouse, so the mouse has one major issue, and that is that eventually you're going to be doing this a lot, rolling it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something called mouse something C, the Z or something like that.
The one that tips and you could pick it up and it changes.
Yeah,
and all
you
kinds of
pick
shit.
it up and you can do like.
You can basically place it in a cradle, and then lean it left and right, etc. And you can also tilt it left and right because it has as it's laying on the table. So that would probably be the compromise that allows me to do it, because I like small mouse movements to control with but I also don't want to be doing this all the time, all over the place, just to turn fast. And I don't want to be pushing buttons to do 100%. So I want to have the options to do, something in the middle.
Sure.
And that will
Has that mouse gone live yet? Because I remember it was on Kickstarter.
I think it's still in development.
It's still in development, but the Kickstarter went way over, so they have more than enough money.
Yeah, it was really cool watching their demo. It looked like it would be really good. It'd take a lot of brain power though to
it takes time to get
master
used to it. But you're doing 2 joysticks. That's also hard, right? So it's
I can masturbate with either hand, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be. I might be convinced to get a 1 joystick and try left-hand stick and mouse because, I'm left-handed, so I think I'm already pretty good at left sticking.
Well,
but regardless,
throttle control is a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's.
If I ever get into flight, I'm going to do hand-on stick and stick, dual sticks. But if I don't ever want to be a dogfighter, I think I'm going to stick with my good old keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, if you don't want to be a combat, and you don't want to be in combat a lot, keyboard and mouse is good enough. I mean,
I'm telling you what, I have 2 sticks. No pun intended. And flying with 2 sticks, it feels natural. It feels right. It's I've done the HOTAS thing. It's good, but flying with 2 sticks just feels like a spacecraft when you're actually doing it. It's different. And then the mouse is there for when you get into a combat situation, when you need precise aim, you just stop using whatever hand your mouse use. If you're right-handed, you stop using your right hand, slap it on your mouse, use it to aim. You still have vector control and shit, but you have that fine throttle control of that stick. It's good. I like it.
I think the combinations of whatever controller you choose to use. Now, remember, we haven't even talked about keyboard with analog, which just is out. The rooting one is already out. So it has...
Yeah, what about the gamepad?
So...
It's the worst of both worlds.
So the rooting one basically has, a lot of keys that you can set as you push them down, they're analog, basically. They give you... basically controller access on your keyboard, so it's better than nothing. It's better than 0 and 100. It gives you something.
0 and 1,
yeah. Noobifier got one, and he liked it. He did a pretty positive review on it.
And it's also going to be very useful in FPS. All those. You're used to all this. You have to do this because this is how it works, right? But now you don't have to go this or there. You can go in the between or anywhere you like because you have an analog function on it. It's going to be interesting to see how this works. But add face track or face whatever you call that, face wear into this, and
with the head look.
And then what you call the voice
attack.
Voice attack. And you're set. But you better get used to using all of that. That's no less than that's required in, advanced airplanes. But
you know what the problem with voice attack is going to be, though, is when you're in comms. You're going to have a channel with all these people shouting voice attack commands.
So push to talk.
Can you do that when you're when using a mouse and a joystick and a throttle and all this other shit?
Can you use a voice attack to enable push to talk, and then you say to voice attack, open mic.
Yeah,
and you can also say to voice attack, stop listening, and it will stop tracking what you're saying.
Begin message, end message.
You could say whatever you want. You could give it whatever key command you want, like, transmit, and it will stop listening, and you could say what you need to say, and then you could say resume or whatever, and it would start listening to you again. I mean, that's a lot of shit for your brain to process. So, you want to talk about immersion, that's fucking immersion.
Key press is easier. So
you have to hold it down.
You can have you.
It's also faster to key press.
Yes.
A key press will allow you. You're not using it for critical function. Critical function is for the already existing keys you either have on your keyboard close to your fingers or on the joysticks or on an advanced mouse. There's a lot of extra keys. There's where your critical keys are. So, but you want to set the radar to the left. That's a lot of stuff. You have to move the mouse to the menu, or you have to use key presses and move your hand to the keyboard, to the numpads, all that stuff. Just say it. Press a key and say shields left, and shield will go left. And if you mispronounce it, whatever it suggests that you think it says, just put that into shield left, and shield will go left.
Yeah, what Zab said. Set a voice attack to push the talk and your comms to push the mute. Meaning that if you push the button, it'll mute the comms it'll whatever. Yeah, it'll reverse the one, so it'll mute voice attack to listen to you, but it'll instead open your mic and comms.
Yep, that's the one way to do it. Or you can have, eventually, we have figured it out through hard lessons that active combat channels cannot be push to talk. They have to be open mic'd.
Right.
Because you cannot keep pressing keys while doing talking all the time. So for active keys you have to press all the time, they should be somewhere close to your fingers. But the stuff you just access now and then can be on voice attack.
Yeah, but if you're using voice attack for almost all of your primary functions in your ship, besides like controlling a ship and firing weapons and shit like that, then you're going to have open keys, especially if you're using a HOTAS or some sort of, advanced joystick setup. If you use a keyboard and mouse, then it's a non-issue because your hands are always there.
Right, but a joystick, you have all kinds of toggles and
look
switches.
into the life of T.O.
If you see here, there's a lot of, it's too dark, but there's a lot of buttons here. If you can't find enough buttons here and all the different buttons here to do whatever the fuck you want to do, you're doing.
I'm getting vertigo watching that.
I don't care.
Whoa! Almost fell out of my chair. Okay, so we're pushing the edge of the envelope here. It's 7:25 Eastern Standard Time. There's one last question.
Is there?
From no, that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
That was the last question. Yeah. We took a long time on that one because everybody has an opinion, and basically it really comes down to find what is comfortable for you and master it. Yeah.
Okay,
opinions.
Well, I like assholes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
And just make a.
It's kind of like
make
this
a female
show.
character and get a voice changer, and people will give you free shit.
Or that, yeah.
Choosing between a mouse and a joystick is like Junta telling Moggimus which sound he likes, so he should really buy these headphones because they work for Junta's ear, but Mog, you should buy them because they work for Junta.
I would get those. They look comfortable.
That's
the thing. I have these fucking wireless headphones that I put on, and they're too fucking small, so they press my ears and it hurts. Like I need
those are
headphones that cover the whole thing, and those look like they would. And I know they're quality, so.
No, Miami, I don't think that people would be giving my female avatar free shit if she sounded like a chipmunk. She's going to have some sultriness. So we had just a fine amount of reverb and just the right amount of pitch bend to get you into that second octave.
A little bit rasp.
Modulation.
Yeah. Well, I can do that. Hi, sexy.
What's the female artist we've been hearing lately?
Oh shit, I can't remember her
Haley
name.
something.
Haley. Yeah, she's great.
Reinhardt.
Actually, throw that link in the chat before we bail. She's great, man.
What is this?
So
Which
great.
of them? There's so many.
No, like the one we were just watching, where she was doing the Britney Spears song.
Ah, yeah.
You're just watching what?
Me and Tio were watching YouTube videos earlier of this. She's like 1920s or so swing blues, really
great vocal control. She gets it all. She has the low lows, the high highs. She has the rasp. She has the whole package when it comes to a female
singer.
She
has the looks.
And she's cute too, so it doesn't hurt. But she's doing like freaking a Britney Spears song, and she makes it like crazy sexy.
Okay, well.
Oh, this is the
Actually, I'll just there you go.
Throw it in chat, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, she's amazing.
We'll do.
Tio got me on a huge kick with them yesterday.
Oh yeah, I think this it's not the first time they heard on the bass. I think N-Track does it sometimes. That music group, or Fizzer's show. Sometimes it comes by. People request it. Yeah, they're pretty good. But the sites that I just dumped all those links. Yeah, you can follow us and our Discord server. If you're not in there, you can join it, and we'll be. The fans and listeners and the crew will all be there. You can just talk to us, whatever you want, or hang out. And to check us out, the schedule is up on our website. We have all the rest of the shows during the week listed there. And there'll be some new shows coming. Just like last Friday, there was a what really?
On Fridays?
Yeah. What did you call that?
Well, technically it uses the pirate radio name, but it is what it is. Fridays.
I think it was a fusion.
Eastern.
It was a fusion of the Friday night show and the pirate show.
Mm-hmm.
But you saved it in the end, though. You saved it in the end. It turned into pirate show. It started as the Friday night show and then turned into the pirate show.
It's called Diminishing Standards of Humanity.
That's a good name. All right. So that was on Friday.
But
you can probably check it out next Friday or any other. We'll just check out the schedule. We got some other stuff lined up. We'll definitely make sure we tell when that's happening. But yeah, other than that, this show will be up on YouTube couple days later, just as our old episodes have been on there. And the next live show of the Roundtable will obviously be the same time right here on this channel here next week, next Sunday. So until then, have a good week, and see you around the verse, or whatever people say now, and we'll see you again on the next Roundtable.
Oh my God, we got to start doing that. See ya in the verse.
No, no, please no.
It doesn't exist.
I felt that I was surprised that they kept that in after the whole overhaul with the new ATV style. They still do that awkward thing at the end. I'm like, oh. No. Just no. Goodbye.
Again?
We'll see you later. Next.
That's offensive,
week.
Roland.
What?
Okay, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Dutch people can do it as well.
I support the monkeys. Do you? Check out The Base. 24/7 online radio. Oh, yeah! Visit us at TheBase.sc. They're professionals.